Yeah, hi everyone. Good morning and welcome to day two of Code2Corporate Bootcamp. So, as per yesterday's session, we gone through multiple things like what are the different roles and domains we have in software. Okay, so I hope you gone through our session recordings and also the websites mentioned in our previous day session. Okay, so mostly we discussed about what are the different roles available in IT field and how people can switch from one role to another role. And also we given some background about how we can leverage AI in this IT field. And we gone through that Gamma app. That's the PowerPoint presentation creator for you. Like it can create images, sorry, it can create a PowerPoint or PDF files or website. Anything can be done using Gamma.app. In the same way, we gone through a couple of no-code tools like Cursor, low-code tools, Cursor, and we have so many other tools we'll be exploring in our next sessions. And coming for today's session, it is all about software development life cycle. It's one of the main topic for any fresher to master it. Okay, so nowadays it's like everything. Most of the people are using the same format, so it's not a big deal. But it's better to know about software development life cycle. Okay, so welcome back again. So why these people are sitting here? Any idea? Okay, so we just gone through the day one recap. We already have recordings available, so anyone can go and you can visit there to get a brief about a day one session. And coming to day two, so we'll be mostly worrying about SDLC, Software Development Life Cycle. So in simple words, right? For example, you are going for a picnic with your friends. Okay, what you guys will do? So you will be gather once and you will be discuss about what are the things we have to carry to picnic and what is the place and how we will go, what is the destination, how much time it will take. So you will be discussing about all those pain points, and then you will come to the conclusion like, okay, this is the way we will be going, and this guy will pick up. Rohit will pick up Gnaneshwar at this particular place, and Vamsi will pick up maybe Salem at one particular place. So this is how we will go. At 9 o'clock, we will be starting from here in Vizag or things like that. Okay. So first you will prepare a plan for everything. Okay. That's how SDLC works. Okay. SDLC is nothing but software development life cycle. Just now in our previous example, right, we are discussing about how picnic will be planned. In the same way, in SDLC cycles, people will plan the project. That's the use of SDLC in a very layman terms. Okay. So, what is the main importance of SDLC? So, there are multiple phases. If you see this one, right, multiple phases here, like requirements gathering, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. So why SDLC is very important? Why your picnic meeting is important? Think that way. Okay. So SDLC, why it is important is like it ensures the quality and consistency. Okay. and provides visibility and control over the project. So basically, quality and consistency is nothing but quality of work and quality of following timelines. Consistency is nothing but you, for example, there are like 100 modules and you decided to deliver 10 modules per week. Okay. Every week you are delivering 10 modules, 10 modules, 10 modules. To complete the entire 100 modules, it will take 10 weeks. Okay. So you're continuing doing that. That is nothing but a consistency. Just like our boot camp started day two session today. So we are continuing this work day by day. That's called consistency. Okay. So SDLC, why it is important is like it ensures the quality and consistency of the resources of the project manager or the project or the team. So complete consistency depending on how you will have a meeting at the starting of your project. Okay. And comes to why SDLC is very important is like it provides visibility and control over the project. So, for example, there are 100 team members. Okay, just imagine when we are discussing as 100 people discussing about one particular project, and there will be multiple questions, and there will be debates happens within the team. So everything comes at the end of the day. Everyone want to complete the project in a quality manner. Okay, so that's at that particular time, each and every person will have complete visibility about the project, and you will take control over the project. Maybe just give go back to picnic, right? For example, Vamsi is picking someone from this particular location. So what will happen here? Vamsi having a visibility saying like, okay, this is my task to do. And Salim, okay, that guy is waiting for Vamsi in that particular place. Okay. So what he will get, he will also get some visibility on the picnic. Visibility is nothing but he will get a complete idea on the picnic. So that's where we call it as we. So both Vamsi and Salim having a control over the picnic in the same way. So SDLC provides visibility and control over the project. Okay. So the planning and estimating something and managing resources. These are the three main things. Planning is nothing but how your project will be done, and estimating how much time it will take, how many resources we need, what are the tech stack we need. So all the estimates will be done in SDLC's time. Okay, and also managing resources. So maybe this week we are going with 10 resources. Maybe second week maybe we are adding few more, or we are just planning with the same resources. Okay, these kind of manage also happens in SDLC. Okay, what the use of all these, right? It reduce the risk and cost in the long run. So when you have a meeting at the starting stage, right, what will happen? Everyone know about the project, and everyone will get complete idea about the project, and you will get estimations like how many days it project will be completed, or maybe how many years depending upon the project. Okay, so management will get complete idea about the project. So that's why SDLC, software development life cycle, is very important while delivering projects. Okay. And as we discussed it, right, requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance. These are the main phases of SDLC. We'll be discussing shortly. Okay. And coming to, so as you see, right, there is a two different models in SDLC. Models are nothing but there will be different ways. Just like, for example, if you see anything, right, everything over the period, it will be upgraded to something version 1 to version 2. In the same way, SDLC previously we have like waterfall model, and we have like agile methodology. Okay, these are the two SDLC models currently used by most of the projects. Like I can say like 90% of the projects will be using agile methodology, and there are 10% projects will be going under waterfall model. Okay, so let me put this way. The waterfall model. Do you know how water falls from one place to another place? It starts from higher altitude to lower altitude, right? So if you pour water at the starting stage, right, it really comes to the bottom of that particular thing. Okay, and also it's a sequential manner. Okay, for example, if water starts from for our examples, water starts from fifth floor. If you pour water in the fifth floor, it comes to fourth floor, third floor, and then second floor. So water will flow back to fifth floor once it reaches second floor? No, because it's not possible at all. Okay. So water pouring from fifth floor to first floor, right? It will be a one way. Okay. There will be no U-turns, there is no going back. Okay. So that's the defect of waterfall model. It will flow from one point to another point. There will be no going backs, and there will be no changes, and there will be no U-turns. Okay. In waterfall model also we'll have requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing, deployment, maintenance. But they will flow very strictly one after another. So for example, let me share my screen once. You have any questions till now?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Where is my paint? Okay, what are the phases we have? Like requirement gathering, design, development, these part. This is nothing but paint only I'm using just to get some idea. Now I want to increase my font here. Requirement gathering, design, implementation. So we'll be discussing about each block separately, but just for now, just remember these names, okay? So basically, this is how we'll start. First, requirement gathering. As per name suggests, right, you will be discussing about what we have on the plate. Okay, what are the different things we will have. Then it will go to design. So they will be designing something, and then they will be implementing that using coding, or they will be implementing using something, and testing. So we are discussing about waterfall model here. Let me increase the. So in this waterfall model, right, this is how it will go. Top to bottom. This is how it will go. After testing, you don't go to requirement gatherings or a requirement design. Okay, it's not possible here. In waterfall model, it's not at all possible. In waterfall model, everything starts from scratch. I mean, it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no going back. For example, while deployment, if client want to change something, right, it's not possible at all in waterfall model. Just like, for example, you don't have any mobiles, you are planning a picnic. Okay, we had a discussion On 19th, you had a discussion saying like we are going to Goa or something. Okay. On 28th, Salem is waiting at 9 o'clock, and Gnaneshwari is waiting at 9 o'clock at specific locations. Okay. And both of them don't have any mobile phones with them. Okay. So now Vamsi will pick Salem, and Lohit will pick Gnaneshwar at locations at 9 o'clock. They reached on their bikes. So that's what happens. Okay. Maybe there is a plan change, and Lohit don't want to go. Then how he will convey to Salem and Vamsi? Okay. Because it's not possible. There are no mobiles. So next thing they have to do is they have to reach specific location. Then only they can interact with each other. They can communicate each other. Just like this, they will communicate only after going for maintenance. So what is the disadvantage is, right? For example, in requirement gathering stage, they gather a couple of things. Maybe the requirements are more than what they wanted. So at this particular phase, right, they will lose resource time. Okay, they are estimating too much. That's why they will lose resource time. That's the issue. And also design, right? If they want to design a single web page and there are like 10 people sitting in your project and only one guy is creating that particular website and rest of the 9 members are sitting ideal. So that is the waste of your resources. In the same way, coding, see, you have, for example, your project mostly runs on HTML and CSS, and you recruited HTML, CSS guys three, and you have Java people 3 people, and you have another 3 who is know about Node.js and other front-end developments. Then, but in project you are using only HTML, CSS. Then what happens to the rest? Okay, they will be sitting idle and look for something. That is also wasting of resources and testing, and you don't have any estimations, and you have only one member in your team, testing member in your team, QA lead or someone. Okay, that is also like there are 9 developers and one testing lead. That also may create problems if you don't estimate correctly. So this is the main challenge in waterfall model. Okay, so if you go with pros and cons, right? This is very simple to understand. Like we'll go by one, right? So first phase, second phase, third phase. So it is very easy to understand. That is the pros. If you're discussing about pros and cons of this waterfall model, it's very easy. Anyone can adapt to this. And second thing is clear phases and deliverables. Okay, they will be setting like goals like in 1 month we'll be completing these 10 modules. That's it. There will be no going back. There will be no change at all. Okay, if they say like they will be delivering 10 modules, 10 modules will be delivered. If there is issue, right, that will affect your project. But clear phases and deliverables will be available for the project, and also it's good for smaller teams. Okay, because if you have only 3 members in the team, 5 members in the team, right, it is very easy to communicate within the team, and you can update the things whenever it's needed, but it's not possible in the waterfall model. But if you have smaller teams, right, it is very easy to manage. But if it is a like 100 plus members, these kind of teams, right, it's very hard to manage in a waterfall model. That's why in coming to cons, right, we'll be discussing mostly about did I mention here pros and cons? Yeah. Okay, on my screen. So as I previously said, right, pros are nothing but it is very simple to understand and clear phases and deliverables, and waterfall model is good for smaller teams. Okay, that is the pros. That's it. And coming to the cons section, it's like difficult to go back if the requirements change. For example, after 1 year, you're in waterfall model project and you want to change something at the beginning, right? That will be, it's not possible at all in waterfall model. That will make things worse for the client and also the development team. So it is inflexible. Okay, and it is very difficult to go back if the requirement changes. And testing only happens late in the cycle. Okay, if you go these steps, right, we have the steps, right? Requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing in the phase 4. After that is deployment. So what will happen? Requirement gathering took 1 week, 1 month, and then next phase, what is that? Design phase is like 2 months, and implementation phase is like 3 months. So after 6 months, it will go for testing if there is any failures, right? Again, that's very headache for the teams, because 6 months you are not doing anything. If 6 months you don't do anything, the proper testing is done after 6 months, that creates a lot of drama in your project. Okay, that's why waterfall model has a risk. Is like testing only happens late in the cycle, right? That will affect your project. And also high risk if the requirements are unclear initially. So most of the projects, right, the starting phase, they will have like 10 points, but after going step by step, right, there will be like 100 of points added to the project. But you cannot change any requirements in a waterfall model. So that's the another con in this. And customer feedback is only available at the end. For example, you are creating a product. Okay, they will be using the product after 5 years. That's challenging, right? Because in the 5 years you don't get any review to update your things, and you don't get any testing to be done. So that is like customer feedback only happens at the end. That creates a problem. Okay, this is the reason. This is the reason this waterfall model is like having challenges. And then people are went to agile methodology. Currently, every project is following that agile methodology. Okay, I give an example, right? Picnic, maybe in tomorrow's session, right? You come up with a example for waterfall model in building a house. Can any one of you like compare a waterfall model with building a house? What are the phases we'll have in a house?
Sir, yes, sir, we can come up with any example for house, sir, in waterfall model.
Yeah. So just simply what I will say, right? For example, you come up with a plan, okay, for a building of 5 floors, and the plan is good at the starting. You constructed where you constructed everything using that plan, and there is a change when you will see. Once all the construction is completed, then only you can see, okay, why this wall came here. Okay, that will be the challenging, right? Apply these kind of methodologies to waterfall model and come up with some maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs on top of that, so that will be useful for you to understand. Waterfall model, this building example available in the internet. Okay, you can go through that once and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, the picnic, I made it up, the picnic example, right? Picnic example without mobiles is a waterfall model. With mobiles will be agile methodology. So now we will be discussing about agile methodologies. I'm not sure why this paint is working like this today. Mm, let me change the to whiteboard. So you understood, right? This is how waterfall model go one by one, one by one. That's why it's creating problems for us. Now we have a new model called Agile methodology. Maybe I should, instead of presentation, let me share my screen here. So you will get understand easily. Okay. So next one is Agile methodology. The first one is the waterfall model, and now we are discussing about Agile methodology. Okay. So these are the key principles, individuals and interactions over process and tools, and working software over comprehensive documentation, and customer collaboration over the contract negotiation, and responding to change over a following a plan. So just cut it short. Individuals and interactions over process and tools, and working software over comprehensive documentation, and customer collaboration over the contract negotiation, and responding to change or following a plan. So we'll go by starting from this. Responding to change or following a plan is nothing but, for example, in waterfall model, if there is any change in your product, okay, it's very hard to change. Okay, again, that's hell lot of a story in waterfall model. So again, going back to that design phase and then implementation is again starting from scratch. It will be headache for each and every team. But coming to this agile methodology, right? You can apply some changes to your models using by following a plan. Following a plan is nothing but we'll be discussing shortly. Okay. And then customer collaboration or contract negotiation. So, for example, if there is any issue with the customer, right? Any issue with nothing but there is a change from the customer. Like, for example, you want to add these kind of features, right? So you can collaborate easily with the customers and you can prepare a plan and you can done it in a short period of time in agile methodology. Sir, you can ask question like in waterfall model also we have the same development team, and also in agile methodology also we have same development team. So we can apply changes here in agile, but why we are unable to apply in waterfall model? Maybe that's the question everyone will have. But in software, right, there is a one thing you have to keep it in your mind is process. That's why softwares always follow a process. It will be going to that particular process. There will be process changes comes every maybe like after a few years, but they will follow the process. For example, maybe people will think like onboarding a resource is takes a lot of time. Okay, why you guys need to discuss with that resource who is joining in your team? Okay, you just join our team, he will learn shortly, right? After 1 year, he will get to know complete details about project and complete details about your company. Why there will be ongoing sessions with that new resource? Why that onboarding taken very seriously by the companies? For everything, there will be a process. The process should be followed. Okay, or else there will be lot of challenges which we don't know. That's why people follow always go with the process. For example, let me put an example. Okay, so there are roads and there will be footpaths and people going by roads on bikes. Okay, people going on roads. Okay, every day they are going on road. If bike riding on footpath, there will be no issue unless there are some people walking on the footpath. No, because we kept a process saying like, okay, every all the bikers and cars should we go on road, footpath only for pedestrians. So what happens, right? People will be like thinking like, I see, I am having this very small vehicle. I will put it in a footpath. I can go ahead. Okay, you can go. I'm muting. So you're getting any echo from me, or it's good?
It's good, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Good, sir.
So basically, what I am trying to say, right? So if you go by car or bike, right, it should be on road. If you go by foot, if you want to go by footpath, right, you can go by footpath. But if there is any pedestrian, that there will be accidents and there will be a lot of other challenges. That's why you should go on road. That's why we keep processes. Some people will say, what happens if you go by footpath? There will be no damage, nothing. I will go here, I will go tons and everything. I will do everything in footpath. That will be not an issue. But that's not obeying your traffic rules. That will fine. That's why, for example, just imagine there will be no fines and there will be no rules. People go uh, without any process. People go on road. They will go this road to that road without doing any indicators. They will turn the bikes. That will create a lot of noise. Okay, these kind of things happens. That's why you have to follow the process. Maybe for example, just consider this particular boot camp. Every day we are meeting at one particular time and we will be leaving at one particular time. So it will be the consistently we are doing it. After a few days, right, what will happens, right, it will grow one by one. Maybe I can give a session like direct 16 hours and I can say our boot camp is completed, but what we'll learn from that is nothing. Why? Because the too much data, okay, our mind cannot process. So you have to, for example, you are eating something, right? You cannot eat everything for in the morning meal. Okay, you have to eat something in the morning, afternoon, and the night and the evening snacks. That's how you have to plan. That's how you have to follow the process. In the same way, in agile methodology also, there will be customer collaboration over contract negotiation is nothing but. See, contract is nothing but there will be contract between you, I mean, your company and the customer to deliver some goods. Okay. So without any customer collaboration, without, for example, customer today is having like 5 requirements and tomorrow he comes up with the 6 requirements. When you say, I, we are in middle of project, I don't add any features in the middle. Okay. Customer is not satisfied at that particular time. That's why you should collaborate with your customer and saying like, okay, yeah, this is the one, right? Okay, okay, this is the feature. Okay, good, good. So we'll be having this meeting on this particular day to discuss about this particular issue and we'll resolve that and we'll add it as a feature in our upcoming releases. Okay, that's what you will say with a customer. And then working software over comprehensive documentation. So in agile methodology, right, you will get every day the documentation also will be updated because the features will be changes day by day, and also there will be changes and there will be proactive meetings at the middle of the project, and so you will get clarity on a couple of things. And for example, when you start something, right, you will don't have complete clarity on that. So after few days, maybe you got some more points, then you will add it to your documentation, and also that software which you're using, right, you will be using very easily at that particular time after few days, so you will be adaptive to that. That's why working software over comprehensive documentation. See, some of the words you have to remember, like comprehensive documentation is nothing but it will have a step-by-step guide to complete specific thing. Maybe it's related to your product or it related to software and all. And individuals and interactions or processing tools. So individuals, like for example, developers teams will collaborate with QA team, and QA team will collaborate with the business team. Team will collaborate with the development team. These kind of collaborations always make it handy to complete your project. That's why interactions within the team, that is the main goal in agile methodology. There is a communication between each and every team in agile. For example, in this particular phase, right, for example, development is completed and they send it to testing. Okay, what testers will do, they will test the framework or test the product and send back to the developers, but they will test complete product. Just imagine if a Facebook product is designed, okay, just imagine facebook.com is designed and you're testing once everything is completed, then there will be like thousands of pages they have to test. Okay, that will take hell lot of a time, and if bugs are created, right, that is not easy to fix. But if you test phases by phases, phase one, these kind of specific 5 features. In phase 2, there are like 10 features. If you test phases by phases, right, so that will be easy for test and also for development team. In agile methodology, this is the advantage. You will have multiple meetings in between project, so that will added value to your teams. Okay, so now we'll be discussing about pros and cons. So we are guys, we are just getting a theory part. Okay, that's why you have to understand these basics so you can apply. For example, maybe after today's session, you go and study about this one, right? Agile methodology and waterfall model. It's very easy for you to understand. And coming to pros and cons of this agile methodology, see, everything in this universe have pros and cons. Okay, including me, I have some pros and cons with me. But it changes within the person and it will changes within the project. That's where project team meetings will be comes handy. They have to remove these cons from particular project. So coming to the pros of agile methodology is like flexible and adaptable to changing requirements. As we discussed it, right, there is always scope for change, and our team always ready to change. And customer feedback incorporated early and often. So customer feedback, for example, just now we discussed it, right? If customer adding more features, yeah, we'll tell them, okay, this, okay, good. We'll be adding this feature. Okay, this is the meeting we'll be having. This is the requirement gathering again will happens for that particular feature, and we'll close that. And delivers working software frequently, not like a waterfall model. Will be delivering the product at the end of the day. Okay, we'll be delivering product, so not end of the year. Okay, we'll be delivering product in between, like every 1 month or 2 months, or every latest feature will be tested and developed by your teams, and it will be tested and it will be shared with your client, and there will be meetings going on with your customers. So that delivering working software frequently is nothing but, so every time the software is tested with your testing team and delivered to your client, phases by phases. Okay, it's not in production, but the client can test that particular service. So better team collaboration is nothing but, see, now teams are testing like very limited features, right? So limited features means limited work, so limited development efforts to come to remove those bugs. Okay, just imagine if I give you like 100 pages document to review, so that will take a lot of time. But if I divide that into 1 week, and like first half you will go with the 5 documents, and there is a review meeting. After 5 documents, there is one more review meeting. I mean 5 pages. So every 5 pages there will be meeting going on, right? Maybe you will complete that very easily, because you will get to know what my understanding is, what is my requirement. You don't need to read all the 100 pages, and it has specific requirements. You will get to know after 1 or 2 meetings. Okay, that's why you will have a better collaboration within the teams in agile methodology. And cons, can be challenging to implement large organizations initially. Just imagine client coming up with too many changes. It's very hard for you to change your process. For example, you are delivering a pizza from location A to B. Okay, if the in waterfall model it will be like this, just okay, A get the pizza and B deliver the pizza. That's what waterfall model will say. But agile methodology is like, okay, get the pizza from A. So he's on bike ride, he's going towards B location. Middle of the time, there will be a call coming up and say, you have to get the chips from this particular location. Again, he will go and buy those chips, and he is again going to B. Again, he will ask, and somebody will call, customer will call and say, now add some Coke. Again, he's going, add some cake at the end. Okay. So finally he reaches B point. Okay. So the pain points here, right? He have to change his routes every time to get a something else. But at the end of the day, we'll get more to deliver, and you will charge more. But there is a challenges here. Okay, when going from A to B is very easy. You will be following a particular road, or you will go. But A to B, in between A1, B1, A1, B1, A2, B2, C2, C2, A2, these kind of points, right? That will be challenging for anyone within the team. If there are too many changes, that's where things are not good. If are limited changes, right, then things are okay. Okay, developers are don't bother about it. But if there are too many changes, that will create problems. And next is requires active customer involvement. Okay, so every phase there should be customer involvement, customer meetings, and he should understand their product, and he should test their product as per their requirement. It should be done every time. If the customer is not happy and customer is not available to test your service, and you want to test after multiple phases, right, that will affect your project. Okay, because you cannot change everything from scratch again. Okay, that will be so much issue will be created. That's why it requires active customer involvement. Customer should involve actively in your project. Okay, less cons, less predictable in terms of final cost and timeline at the very beginning. Okay, it is like a Bahubali with Rajamouli. Okay, he will be start everything at a very smaller scale with limited resources. After going into the movie, right, he will be adding so many things. Okay, that will added budget to the producer. In the same way, we are adding too many changes in the middle of the night and middle of the project. Okay, that creates too many budget concerns for the customer sometimes, but its requirements is coming from the customer, right? That's not a good thing. So that's why final cost will be increases. So for example, Ganeshwar and you guys, let me know which is better one, and which is having a better one in agile and waterfall. If you are going for a project, which one will you choose?
Sir, it's based upon the project itself, sir.
Okay, for example, you are constructing your house. Okay, then you will follow agile methodology or waterfall model.
If the plan is fixed, we would go with agile, sir. If we are still thinking about adding something, we will. Sorry, if we are going to add something, we will go with agile, sir. If the plan is fixed, we will go with waterfall, sir.
Yeah, yes. In a simple way, right? Analogy is nothing but building a house room by room, getting feedback after each room is usable, and adjusting the plan as needed. Okay. So, for example, if you construct this way, right, there will be, for example, if you want to change those walls and everything, right, it will be easy for you to change. But it takes a lot of time because, see, if you have a fixed plan, go by like 4 rooms, one is kitchen, two bedrooms, and hall. That's very easy to construct. But if there are any other things, because interior comes into the picture and he will add something else at the end, so that needs some improvement. That's why agile methodology is a very good in that, but it takes a lot of time. That's why coming to these, right, apartments construction, right, that will go very fastly. But when there is an in duplex house constructions and the individual house constructions, right, that will take a lot of time because they will have complete control over the builder, and they will ask them to change this thing, and that will take a lot of time. But coming to apartments, right, that's like a waterfall model. They will have specific plan, and they will go with the plan. But if you are constructing home individually, right, you will be go with one plan. Later you will change again, and you will register that plan again, new plan again. So there will be a lot of things will happen. That's why you have to observe the difference between waterfall and agile methodology. Later, how you will apply in project, that completely depends on your teams and all. Okay, there will be people will be using Microsoft ADO board. Some people will use Google Kanban. There are multiple tools are available in the market, but mostly nowadays people are going with these Microsoft ADO boards, and some. It's all depends on your company. If it is smaller companies and they will have budget concerns, and they will go with some open source tools, or else they will go with premium tools. Okay, next we'll be introduced to DevOps. You ever heard about DevOps?
No, sir.
Okay. Um, just imagine you're having a lab in your college, right? For example, in your lab, there will be like 50 different systems, and 50 systems they need to install Microsoft Word. Okay, how much time it will take? Just imagine like IT admin comes into the picture and he will be downloading that particular software and he will be logging to in system one, and then you will started installing. Just let's say 20 minutes to install Microsoft Office. Okay, so we're having like 50 systems. It will be completed in 50 into 20. How many minutes we are having here? 1,000 minutes. It's okay. So it comes to total 1,000 of minutes. We have to work on that particular just to install Microsoft Word. Just imagine there are some other software to be installed, so that will take hell lot of a time. Previously, people are using in maybe 2000 at that particular time, right? We will be using these kind of things like they will be installing same software by downloading each and every software in individual systems, and they will be installing it. There will be series, right? They will be go with the series and all. But DevOps comes into the picture. I'm just giving a very basic example for DevOps. So DevOps, what they will do, right? He will be sitting on one system at some place, and he will be connecting to all systems at a time, one by one or at a time. Okay, that's his choice. And he'll be started installing all at a time. So 20 minutes, all the installation will be completed. Okay, that's the use of these DevOps. So it's very easy for anyone to use. Maybe just like, for example, this is the goal of DevOps. Shorten system development lifecycle and provides continuous delivery with high software quality. Okay, so just like in this example, right? What is here development? What is our thing here, right? Our project will be like installing a software. For that, we are using a DevOps. So DevOps is like continuous delivery and high software quality because all the software comes from same location, and there will be no chance of multiple versions. Okay, if there is a version 11 here, all systems will have version 11 only. Okay, there will be no change. So 1,000 minutes means how many hours? 16 hours. So in 16 hours work we have completed in 20 minutes. Then that is a big plus, right? Or else that IT admin or the guy, right? He have to sit for almost 16 hours to install all the software. So it will take like maybe 1 week for him because he will be working on some other tasks, and along with that he need to install the software. So DevOps will shorten your SDLC lifecycle. So the span will be reduced. Just this is a very basic example. Here we saved like 15 hours of work. Just imagine for an organization he's having like lakhs of systems. Okay, maybe thousands of systems. That will take hell lot of a time. But using these DevOps, right, it's very much improved. So key pillars and practices in DevOps. First one is culture, collaboration between dev and ops team. Dev and ops team are nothing but development team. They will give you pattern like this is what we wanted to do. Connect to this particular URL and download this particular software and install this software. That is the information given by development team. And ops team, right? Ops team is nothing but operations, and those guys will create these automation in your project. Okay, what they will do, right? They will write a simple script where that script will hit that particular URL and they download that particular software and they will be installing it. So automation, right? Automating repeated tasks, building, testing, deployment. DevOps is nothing but like, automation is nothing but see. For example, Janeshwar is going for a walking every day at morning 6 o'clock, and he started his walking day one, day two, day three. After few days, right, he will be habituated to it. But just imagine in your project, uh, every day you have to come to the project and say like hitting this button to complete this particular task, and then the task will take like 1 hour. Instead of you coming to office at 9 o'clock, you can automate this task at morning 8 o'clock. So whenever you comes to the office, right, it will be completed. So 1 hour won't be wasted. Or else people will say, okay, system is loading. So we are testing from past 1 hour, but there is no use because without your intimation also it can be done. Then why you have to wait for to complete it? So automating repetitive tasks, that's the main point in DevOps. And then eliminating waste and improving efficiency. See, previous example, right? IT admin, he eliminated like 15 hours. Okay. He saved 15 hours using DevOps and tracking metrics to improve processes. Tracking metrics are nothing but metrics, nothing but some stats. Okay. Just imagine like 50 systems, we saved like 15 hours. Just imagine like 5,000 systems, we'll be saving like 1,500 hours. Okay, that's the advantage of these DevOps. Okay, and also sharing knowledge and best practices. Okay, for example, there is automation script coming up, and that script is having one vulnerability. Vulnerability is having by the script. Okay, using this sharing knowledge within the teams, right? You will get to know. Okay, this can be done in this way so that we don't get caught. Okay, maybe we can complete this in less than 10 minutes. Then all of a sudden that 5,000 systems will be completed in 10 minutes. That will be biggest biggest value added to your project. Okay, because you are doing it like instead of 5,000 hours, you are working only for 10 minutes to complete this. That's why we are losing jobs. Okay, previously like we need 100 members to complete this. Now we are having a single person to complete this. Okay, he just hit that button and give the IP address of all the systems and it is done. All the systems will get the latest software and the version updates or a new version download. Everything will be done in 10 minutes. I'm just giving a simple IT admin example. Okay, using that it's completed in 10 minutes. So you have to remember this, how automation will work. Automation is nothing but just every day what you do, they will keep a note of it and keep a metrics for that one, how much time it is taking it, and then they will look for the things like they don't do automation for 5 minutes simple task. Okay, the automation is for the ones which is the very pain point for developer and tester. Nowadays you can do the development using automation and you can also test your services using automation. Just to give a prompt, your AI agents will complete your development and gives the code back. And also they can complete your testing as well. That's how easily we can do that in today's world. That's why automation playing a very main role in 2025. Maybe yesterday we learned about cursor tool, right? The cursor tool, just to give an example, like create a landing page for my Code2Corporate Bootcamp, that will create it and share it with you. And also you can say what are the any broken links here, and it will update that link with a simple JavaScript coding, and you can run that JavaScript, so you will get to know like what are the defects in that particular website. So I'm just giving a very layman example. It cannot be done directly, but it takes little time to convert everything to automate. But it takes time and it needs help from developers who are doing that job regularly. And we have to identify what are the errors we'll get in this, and then we have to remove that in the automation itself. For example, whenever you download software, there is a permission issue, then you have to run a script saying like chmod and change the permission of that particular software, and then you need to install. Okay, tools, right? We'll be discussing in later part. And we already compared waterfall, agile, and DevOps. DevOps is nothing but it's not a methodology, it's a culture and focused on specific practice and all. But I don't want to mix it here, but waterfall and agile will be once, and DevOps into another phase. Okay, you have any questions till now?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
Lohit, you don't have any questions, right?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So let me end this recording for today.